My dream would be to represent New Zealand at Olympic Games, and my ultimate goal would be to win a medal. I always knew I wanted to go to uni, and I think the best advice that I've ever been given was to have something to fall back on. I was offered the Sir Edmund Hillary Scholarship, which was a massive draw to Waikato University for me, and after going I realised that the lectures were really great. I'm currently coming back from injury, and I've been using the facilities out at the Velodrome in Cambridge, and the staff and high performance equipment have been a key to my recovery. Waikato University has given me options and flexibility for life after hockey. I could put my law degree to use, or if I have $1 million idea, start my own business.
Live stream coverage of the Aon Rankin Cup is proudly presented by the University of Waikato and Vantage Windows and Doors.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to Tauranga Hockey Centre on a sunny Saturday, and we're finals day here today with the 2018 Aon Rankin Cup. We've got the third and fourth playoff about to begin in about 5 minutes' time. My name is Nigel Gregory from Tauranga Hockey, and joining me today is Andrew Bryden from Christchurch. And Andrew, you've seen a little bit of these players. What are we going to expect out of the game so far today?
Yeah, well, I've actually been on another tournament, so this will be first time this week for some of these men, but going on previous history, we've got two very, very strong teams here. Hamilton boys, obviously previous winners of this competition. Yep, they're in third and fourth, but they've been in a build for the last few years, so they'll be out for some blood.
And the conditions are good today. We've got a little bit of a breeze here at the Tauranga Hockey Centre coming from behind you. As you're looking at the turf here, blowing across to the opposite side of the turf in the grandstand. Not strong, so it won't affect the play, I don't think, too much in here today. But the players will have to keep an eye on that. The turf's been watered, and half the spectators, as it happens, along day with that breeze dragging the water across into the stands. The final is played after this today. We've also got the Aon India Shield games happening today as well here in Tauranga. Been a very, very busy week, and we'll be hoping to finish off some fantastic hockey there today. So strong games, hopefully no injuries. It's been a pretty good run this week for most people, I believe. Just running through the teams for you today. Ran through Hamilton boys playing in the red and black today. Goalkeeper Wim Dupreez. John Clayton wears the number 2 shirt today. Jack Avery in at number 4, and Luke Eldred is wearing number 7 shirt today. Number 9 is Cameron Steffert. Jacob Suchun is wearing the number 10 shirt. William Muldowney in number 11. Captain today for Hamilton boys is Matthew Della in the number 12 shirt. 13 Tai Whare, 14 is Logan Potter, and rounding up the starting lineup today, Alexander Deo in the number 15 shirt. Coached by Steve Smith. And looking across to the King's College team, coached by Hitendra Patel. Goalkeeper today is Dimitri Galaj. Number 2 is Nicholas Wilson. The number 3 shirt today, Charles Cleal. The captain is Kieran Patel, and he's in the number 6 shirt today. Olivia Shearer, number 7. Number 9 today, Aidan Fraser. Number 10 is Braden Jerram. Sam Grenfell is in 11. Hamish Burnett Brown is in 13, 14 Benjamin Irvin, and rounding off the lineup today for King's College, playing for my right today is number 15, Tim Buckley. Players assembling, as you see, just down on the ground now, about to head out onto the turf.
So as we see the teams lead out, we're obviously lead out with our officials of the day as well. This is also an important match for these boys. On our left from behind, we've got Brodie Greenfield from Canterbury and Jackson Taylor from the Taranaki Stratford area. Both young men have come through the ranks. Jackson, I think this is his first time at Rankin. Brodie's an old regular, but big shout out to them as well. These are big appointments for these men.
Yeah, and now Andrew, you're involved in the umpiring side here in New Zealand hockey. With umpires like this, are you pushing them to go as far as they can, as quickly as they can, or is it a slow development process with umpires?
Depending on the age. I mean, Brodie's an adult now, so he's been here many times, and he'll be wanting to push on to other things. Jackson's still at school. So he's made a choice to not play this week, and he's coming here for professional development. He's very keen to be a umpire. But again, some kids develop early, some kids develop later.
And with the umpires, we always see the game of hockey evolve. That's a natural progression as people looking to invent things and bring in new skills. How about with umpiring? What are the developments that are working for umpires now?
Well, what you'll see is today both boys will be wired up, so they'll be in constant communication with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that will be talked about will be man management. These boys should know the rules.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's more about managing and style, personal communication. There are times when we have to intervene. I suppose the highest compliment that an umpire should have is we've had no influence on the game.
Yeah, and no one noticed you. Yeah, absolutely. I remember I was watching a rugby game recently and had that same thing finish the game and thought, oh, who was doing that? And you didn't notice. And I think that approach, and if you've got the umpires, these good, keen umpires who are enthusiastic about the game, have good communication with the players, and then the players get it, if the players throw a bit of respect back their way, we get a lot out of the game.
And these two boys have to work as a team too, so they are Team Yellow, and there's a lot of emphasis on that during the week, and there's a lot of resource put into them. They've been coached all week, they've had umpire managers, they've been briefed, and there would have been a pre-match discussion as well.
Right, we're about to get underway. Hamilton boys high on the left in the red and black shirts, and today playing for 3rd and 4th against King's College on your right.
So we've got a positive start. Obviously, Hamilton boys want to put the pressure on Kings straight away, punching the ball down into the right-hand corner for a restart. I'd imagine we'll see just a wee bit of conservatism, a wee bit tight to start with. First mistake coming from Kings.
So that's a reward for Hamilton boys for playing the pressure shot, putting the ball down into the red zone.
Absolutely.
And now they've got some possession there and out for a long corner.
Yeah, it's interesting on restarts. Stats from, say, the 2000s would suggest that ball crashing across, any restarts that went behind the line were turned over. That was an international, so anything going forward is a positive.
Fantastic. Now, you might pick up on the cameras here, just in that bottom right-hand corner, so we're looking at a bit of water just between the circle and the 22, so they're going to have to look to avoid that on the way out. That'll slow the ball up a bit here. But given the sun and a bit of breeze, that should disappear shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. So both teams just really trying to find some steps and just put more than one pass together. So we might just find it's a bit scrappy to start with.
It can be a challenging game, the 3rd and 4th playoff. You've played a semi and you've lost that, and it can be a challenge sometimes for players to get themselves up for this. It takes a while. There's still plenty to play for in here. These players, I would imagine, there'll be a number of them that are looking at national selections with age group teams and squads and the such like. So there's a lot to, a good show can go a long way for them.
Yeah, well, and there's reviews going on at the moment. This tournament and other secondary school tournaments is a pathway for higher selection, and that this is just another place to actually show your wares.
Yep, absolutely.
So again, I think we've just seen both teams just testing each other out a wee bit. Nothing's really come from much. This could be good movement. Good attempt there from Hamilton boys, just hitting the side net.
Cameron Steffert with the shot there.
So what's happened there is we've had the Hamilton boy stepping in on the King's College boy. He was clear 5, so a 5 metre ruling was made on the overhead.
Obviously, it's been a very busy week here in the Tauranga Hockey Centre. We're 2 turfs here at the moment and expanding to 3 over the course of the next year. We're very fortunate to have acquired some funding to do that. The player numbers have been growing here. The city itself has been growing at a rather rapid rate. and the roading hasn't quite kept up pace. So it's been a busy week here, and say when we have 3 turfs, it's really going to be a fantastic facility, and by all accounts the tournament's been run really well this week and the players have enjoyed themselves. So the culmination is the finals and semi-finals today. We're watching third and fourth playoff, the Hamilton boys on your left with the red and black, and King's College from Auckland playing on the right, currently in possession.
So where's the new turf going to be put? Is it it's on the same side?
Going behind us, so we've got one turf behind us as we're looking at, and it'll go on the far side of that in towards the cricket ground.
So Hamilton play.
You'll just hear that slight technical difficulty we've got here at the moment. Oh, no, we both certainly heard it, Andrew and I in here today, and just a bit of feedback. So as we say, expanding to 3 hockey turfs here in Tauranga with the increase of playing numbers, and gives the ability to carry more tournaments and also just a change for playing times. And one of the difficulties with the expansion in the city has just been trying to get on the turf for a practice during the course of a week. And when you're fitting in competitions and the such like, some club teams especially have been burning the midnight oil just to fit some time in on the turf. So that'll be a great asset to Tauranga.
And with the creation of these bigger tournaments, it does allow us to, or Hockey NZ, to host. I mean, what we haven't said is this tournament is hosted on 3 turfs, so Tauranga Boys facility is used to run this turf, and even with that, we've got game times running through to 9 o'clock in the evening on some of the big days.
Now, Andrew, in Christchurch, obviously you've had some development of the new turf just outside of town. How's that gone?
Well, we'll tell you next year when Pro League starts on it, so we are quite excited. Porritt Park was where the home when both you and I played, and we won't go back to those dark old days.
It was quite some time ago now, yes, absolutely.
So the reality is Porritt Park was totally destroyed in the 2010 earthquake, the first set of earthquakes. And finally we have Napunawai development. So the turfs are actually complete at the moment, and now the infrastructure's been built around those 2 turfs. So that will eventually be a 3 turf facility as well.
But
that's going to be a shared facility. So we'll have rugby league, football, tennis, and we have the brand new running track. So Christchurch has been without a running track for nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
And I think that turf, that facility will be opened with the FIH Pro League, the new international competition for men and women. And
it's a heck of an introduction.
Yeah, heck of an introduction,
fantastic.
and there's going to be 3 double headers with international teams coming in. Yep. Canterbury has 3 events. I think North Harbour also has 3 double header weekends. Then it'll be out to the provinces.
Fantastic. And of course, Canterbury represented this afternoon with Christ College playing in the final this afternoon against St Kentigans, and that should be a very, very exciting game.
Yeah, it'll be stunning because it's a back-to-back for Christ College, being winners against Christchurch Boys High School last year. The local derby played in the Waikato, so we'll see if they can bring home the bacon. So just getting back to our own game here, it's a bit of a stalemate. Hamilton's probably had the advantages. We've just seen some action in the net, but no real clear opportunities just at the moment.
Now, about 7 minutes gone in this first half, and to say territory and possession would probably favour Hamilton so far. Just the one shot, not on goal, so far in this first 7 or 8 minutes.
Now, for our viewers at home, if you have a second computer screen, you may be able to go onto the tournament management system called Altius. So for hockey people, they'll know that, and there will be statistics being live coded, which shows up-to-date scores, but also some possession, PCs, and just some game stats if folks want to watch that. It's just the overhead coming into the zone, cut out by Kings.
It can happen in tournaments as we get to this last day where players have been playing for, well, this is their 6th day of play now. Fatigue and injury can sneak into plans, and so while we're seeing which might look like a slower game, it's the nature of the end of the playing week, I think, where hockey intelligence really comes into play. Andrew, don't you think?
Yeah, and there will certainly be fatigue here. These kids have played, this will be their 7th game in those 6 days. This is a brutal tournament. There's no rest days, so Monday or Tuesday, so depending on where they fall in their pools, they would have played a double header. And in anyone's imagination, that's tough, doesn't matter how old. Unfortunately, it's just the reality of the situation of running this tournament. If we want to run this format, unless people are prepared to pay for an extra day away from home, which comes to the cost to the families and kids, it would be great to have a rest day in this, and I think we would have better fatigue management at the weekend.
You say a full tournament here. Of course, we've got the Anchor Ames Games starting here tomorrow in Tauranga, and 10,000 athletes descending upon Tauranga City, which is just going to be. We thought this was a busy week. That is just next level, and
that's primary schools, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, intermediate age kids. So and just very, very busy, very busy, and and tremendous event for our city. We're very fortunate to have it here, and so to. Just the hockey centre's been busy all week with this tournament. By tomorrow, a brand new mob will be flying in, and it's wall to wall.
Now, my understanding, if I stand corrected, lots of forms of the game of hockey, so there'll be 6-a-sides and mixed teams and a full 11-a-side as well?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Very there. So, look, everyone gets involved, and I was involved coaching in it last year, and for the first time. And just for the kids, whatever level of hockey or any sport that they're playing, it's just such an event that they want to be involved in. And I've seen a couple of kids who got injured the week before, and it's a soul-destroying feeling because they look so much forward to it, because it's like, for most will be the biggest event they're ever involved in.
Absolutely. No, I saw some Ames kids coming in to watch. So there we see some actual support from the what we call non-engaged umpire. You could definitely see the umpires communicating through headsets with a penalty corner awarded to King's College.
So in that instance, Andrew, talking about the umpires now, because if you go back a while, they'd be in a half each, and that'd be about it, and they'd take care of that. Whereas now, so you've got one umpire deep in the circle looking at the minutiae in there, and the other looking at different angles to see what's happening in there. So just that teamwork's vital to how the game's controlled. Yeah,
absolutely. And also, let's be fair, this left-hand corner attacking is for the engaged umpire can be really difficult to actually see what's actually happening. You've got players, you've got lack of angle, and your non-engaged really does have to support.
First penalty corner for King's College, 11 minutes into the game.
So he's seen the brackets shift up, drag, saved by the keeper, and effectively cleared outside the 5 metres. So
penalty corner's over.
Hamilton boys get away with it.
Yep.
So the miking up of umpires is a fairly recent development in New Zealand. Again, as the technology becomes affordable, Auckland Association and their intercity have been using it. Most of their referees have been mic'd up for most of the club seasons. Internationals have been for a period of time.
Has that affected the player approach to umpires, in that you can't get away with as much, and that you've got 2 people looking at you? So the players got a slightly different approach to the game now?
I don't think so. I think all the players are interested is accurate decision making. And fair management. And if they're seeing that, they don't care how it's done. Again, the mic's not a replacement for good, effective decision making. So we still need other team and non-verbal methods of communication. And again, we have the 5 metre rule being infected there from Jackson.
So the receiver has essentially rights to the ball and a 5 metre circle around them.
Yeah.
With variations. I'll bring in the word interpretation.
Well, I think what you're going to see is if we're watching international hockey and better skilled hockey players, you'll see a little bit of leniency come from the umpire. So if the receiver's been allowed, if he's not quite 5 metres clear and someone's in his zone, they'll let that play. If the non-engaged
safety's paramount too in some of that decision making, isn't it?
Yeah, and as players have grown and developed, they'll just stay out of it until the ball's under control, and they'll keep working. I think within 5 years we'll see it just being played as a danger rule rather than a 5 metre rule. And effectively at the higher levels, that's how it's been played now. Which means the umpire has to be skilled as well. You just don't go there straight away. So the ruling actually says if Team A pops it up, Team B has right away if they're 5 metres clear, and so no one comes in. But you'll find when you watch the big boys, big girls, you know,
they're challenging it.
They'll be in closer, but they may just allow the ball to be received and we're away. I'll probably get shredded now by all my umpire mates and.
So in the game, about 13 minutes gone here at Tauranga Hockey Centre, Hamilton Boys High School playing King's College from Auckland. 0-0 still at the moment. The early territory position to Hamilton Boys. Perhaps a little bit of turn in those stats in the last 5 or so minutes.
I'd agree with that. I think Kings are just starting to get a little bit of ascendancy in the game and controlling the ball well around the back, stringing some passes.
In those last couple of minutes, Again, they're probing this left-hand corner, but they've just been moving the ball around the back, and if you've been watching, you'll see they've just slowly crept that baseline players further and further up the field and putting a press. Now they were, essentially playing in one half of the field, and then with the runners working in the circle.
So we had some nice hockey there. You know, we had the baseline runner getting in there, but some very good defence from Hamilton Boys. Cool and calm, no risk-taking at the moment. We're certainly not seeing any clear breaks. So, you know, the opposition is having to come around the back. There's nothing through the middle. So Hamilton coming to base. I think we'll find that's out. 16.
Goes, yep.
Nice probing pass, not able to be recovered from King's College. Restart sideline.
Yeah, Kings look to be, if they see an opportunity, they'll work the ball slowly if they need to, but if they see an opportunity to go forward, they'll certainly do that at pace and the longer pass.
Yes, they do.
And again, once fatigue does start coming to play perhaps later on in the game, that's when some of those gaps really do open up. It'll be interesting to see whether they gain a reward from that. Currently, under a bit of pressure down near their own circle.
Yes. Now, it'll be interesting if this stays levelled up. It'll be interesting seeing the second half. I think we'll see a lot more action, a lot more energy, and a lot more commitment, possibly. Here we go. Nice opportunity in, but plenty of time for the defenders just to allow that go to the 16. I don't think we've really actually seen bar maybe the penalty corner, a clear chance on goal.
No.
Some aggressive pressing here from Hamilton Boys, and he almost just recycles the ball. So good work from number 13. Defenders do not like an aggressive press. It adds pressure and builds up pressure over time.
Yeah, and even that ploy I thought was fun, sort of early in the game when you're supposed to be 5 metres back early in the game when you're probably only get a word rather than a card, you make that 5 metres into 4 or 3 just to put a little bit of heat on, and then the next time the player's got the ball, he's looking up to see where you are and can put a bit of heat on. Now it's moving down in the other circle, and Hamilton Boys working on their way out.
Kings have successfully split that, so they forced them, and it's a great turnover on the left-hand side, or right-hand side Kings.
Just got players just around the back, just slowly looking to come up on the left-hand side, deep in the right-hand side now, ball topped up.
Trying to probe the base again. Okay, quick restart. Kings moving in here. Can they get in? They'll be looking for a corner. No, we have a wee foot sitting in there.
Good, strong defence from Hamilton Boys in that instance.
Nice overhead clearance here.
Just couldn't find a player to throw that ball to. Good ball through, and then at the time he was looking, but just couldn't find a player. So turnover of possession there.
So Greenfield not happy with some elbows on the back. So what are we... 13, just under 13 to go on the match. No real strong ascendancy from either side yet.
Oh, good ball in. Good ball in.
Possibly not quite read early enough from Kings, but
Alexander Deo's number 15 player who was getting in on that, but yeah, just not quite far enough forward to get hold of that.
Aggressive press again from Kings. The players split the left. Nice recycle from Hamilton Boys High School. This looks promising.
That's a good ball.
Good running off. And I think we've got a
Found
PC.
it.
Oh dear. I think I would have liked a wee advantage there. Hamilton Boys was about to line up with a tomahawk. I think the umpire missed the opportunity.
Penalty corner for Hamilton Boys. So second of the game, I think, Andrew, for one for Kings, and this is the first for Hamilton Boys.
Yep. So we'll see what Hamilton Boys puts up here. Ooh.
So 2 trappers at the moment, 2 strikers. Just on the 20-minute mark in the first half here, in the first penalty corner, Hamilton Boys.
Charged there by number 10. Second shot coming in, covered by the goalkeeper.
Well done. Keeper was on the ground, but did well to get out and cover that as well. So.
Absolutely. That was a strong shot. Good defence from Kings just on their circle edge. Hamilton Boys with a start looking for the probing shot in. What have we got there? Long corner.
Probably some room on this right-hand side, Andrew, if someone wants to come out. So number 6 has wandered out there. Bit of space there.
Straight in.
Ball through, yep.
So at the moment, I'm seeing this game being played in quite good spirits. We're not really seeing any harsh or rough tackles coming in. Everyone's wants to play hockey.
Yep. Yeah, on occasion you can get youthful exuberance can lead to some agricultural approach to tackling, but we haven't seen any of that today. And,
not yet.
Not yet.
They are boys. But I think what you'll find is this will get, if we have no scoreline shortly and we enter the overhead into the middle, I think it would have been like to have seen that just carry on. It's going to get tighter.
Yeah.
And at that stage, then the conversation will be, from a management point of view, is how short we go. I think we'll see some agriculture, maybe not agriculture, but we'll certainly see an increase in tempo in the second half.
Yep, absolutely. Oh. With the umpires, if they're looking at the game, if say the physical contact starts increasing in a game, how do you let that evolve, or do you need to nip it early if it looks like if you think it's going to escalate?
You've got to read the game. You've got to read it's what stages. So, we've had Brody come in here. So he's picked a moment here. So from a management technique, he's had a hard tackle on the base.
Yep.
Ball coming in. He's just nailed a big penalty corner. Justified, absolutely. But he may have just done enough now to actually send a message through to the players.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes just things like that.
They go, right, okay.
They go, right.
If I try it, I'm going to get caught here, and it's going to cost my team.
Yep. So, they've obviously got intervention with cards and bits and pieces. There's man management that you may not see on the pitch. There might be a quiet word.
Yep.
I think at the moment that quiet word's probably all that's necessary. But if you start seeing some rough play coming in, then we'll see a high-level intervention.
Just under 8 minutes in the first half here at Tauranga Hockey Centre, and King's Scholars from Auckland have got their second penalty corner.
So again, changing the bracket. So the penalty corner injection's been duffed. Ball's back into the circle though. It's coming in. It's going to have to be saved.
Okay, just ball played onto the back of one of the Hamilton players. So the goalkeeper reached up, playing the ball down. Just caught the shoulder of one of his players.
Oh, did that actually hit the body, did it?
Just as he went,
because I was sort of looking for an advantage there, because I think Kings were lining up with a shooter on top. Sometimes you've just got to be brave in these situations, and why we're always interested in danger from a hockey perspective. There's some exciting things can come when the ball is in the air.
So third penalty corner for King's College from Auckland.
Better injection this time. Drag coming through. Will charge down by the first runner.
They didn't change the battery lineup that time, so
no.
Same result. So still, they're down in the red zone inside the 22. Kingston again, still an even game. Certainly, as we mentioned, Hamilton started with the ascendancy. Kings have come back into the game in probably the last 10 to 15 minutes. We've had a pretty much toing and froing here at the Tauranga Hockey Centre.
Okay, someone on restart. Starting to see a wee bit of effort here. Oh,
Good ball.
that's her right side striker coming across, and there's going to be a hit. There's a goal!
That's a beautiful goal. A great long ball down, carried, picked up, and then laid across, and there's the opening goal of this third and fourth playoff of the Aon Rankin Cup.
And if we look at the replay, which hopefully will be coming up, what you'll see is number 11 from Hamilton Boys, William Maldaldi. He's the one that did the hard work. He came from the right-hand side into that left-hand corner to set up the cross pass.
Yep. Beautiful. Finished off beautifully by Tai Whare. Again, it's number 13. When we talked about him earlier in the game, the pressure is putting on the fullback. And in that, great read of the play and got the ball and finished off high into the net. Fantastic goal there.
Absolutely.
Tai Whare. So there's the opener. We were just talking about a game of toing and froing. And we're about 24 and a half minutes into the first half, and we've finally got a goal score here. 1-0 to Hamilton Boys. Third, fourth player for Aon Rankin Cup here in Tauranga Hockey Centre.
Getting that big searching pass. So Hamilton Boys at the moment are really pushing some high strikers and probing in that Kings area.
Again, this, as we mentioned, is the dynamics of the game can change as the game goes through. And, the longer balls have started happening, and a great reward for Hamilton Boys for seeing the space, getting the ball and delivering with skill and finished off as well.
And it's very interesting. I'm now seeing from a per officialman, we've seen the umpire's been stretched over 60 or 70 metres because the boys are lengthening the game out quickly. So while that's been successful for Hamilton Boys, they need to interchange that a wee bit and still use their midfield. And if they do, I think because they're stretching the game and they can use their midfield, they'll actually put some real pressure on Kings.
Ball moving up. Now, if you look at some of the camera shots you might find in the background, the cranes you can see in there. Tauranga is the biggest port in New Zealand, and a lot of import and export goods going in and out of there. Of course, we've got the kiwi fruit industry circling the city, and a big employer in this industry, and a growing one as well. The city itself is growing in population-wise as well. Originally settled in the late 1300s by the Māori population here, and then the early 1900s when Europeans arrived in Tauranga Moana.
Bit of intensity coming here from Hamilton Boys. It's a bit of an agricultural tackle coming in from Kings. Yep, and picked up. Just a wee probing ball, trying to find a high striker, just not connecting with anyone.
They got pretty close to the right-hand post there. The keeper might want to have a second look at that next time he leaves one of those. Andrew, you and I played against each other in Canterbury hockey some time ago now, and both as goalkeepers. How have you seen the development of goalkeepers in recent times, especially?
Oh, now we can't really dish ourselves here, can we? The game actually, when we were playing in the big changes were as we were introduced to the turfs, and I think that's when our big revolution started.
Yep.
The equipment, we went to the foam equipment. We had the rebound revolution. We could clear the halfway if we wanted to.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that big technology change.
No.
I think the big change you'll see is from our time is again it comes with rule changes.
Yeah.
The drag flick.
Yeah.
So we used to log, and we were experts at logging because we had the penalty corner, nothing above the baseboard. So we just got a wee passage of play in there. Oh, and that's a goal.
There's an equaliser.
Just
27 minutes in.
a wee sneaky one. We'll have a wee look on the replay to see who got that.
It looks like it might have been our number 13 is Hamish Burnett Brown, but we'll have a look at the replay. And he got the finest touch, yep.
Yeah, just working along the baseline, just keeping us cool, just put a wee flick pass in for his striker and bango. We're back to an even game.
Look, and that'll take a bit of pressure on them if they're gone into half-time 1 down. That's a different game in the second half. But yeah, so we see that long ball again from Hamilton boys.
Yeah, well, they're obviously backing their press, putting an aggressive press on and trying to recycle down there. But I suppose coming back to the goalkeeping, now you'll find a goalkeeper has to be a lot more mobile, just with his up and right. And the only thing that I get a bit disappointed about now is I don't think our young goal... Oh, here we go, Hamilton boys crashing the circle. Here's a penalty corner coming.
We talked about the change in tackling that might happen, and yet just collecting the back of the stick. The Hamilton boys player was strong on the ball and stationary and got collected. So
absolutely. So again, that restart... Put pressure, put an aggressive press on the restart, and it's paid off a penalty corner. So we'll just see the boys set up for that one nearly at full time, last minute. Drag comes out. Drag flick. Oh, off to the side. I think I was going to say we're going to have a restart. No clear. Couldn't find that ball anywhere in that mess. So Hamilton boys just doing the layoff.
Yeah, I think if they're having a look, the Kings keeper seems to be hitting the ground pretty early, and I'm wondering whether they're looking to exploit that. Maybe pop the ball over the top if he hits the ground early again.
Still playing hockey, so it's obviously good. No.
That's our half-time break here at Tauranga Hockey Centre, 1-1. The third and fourth playoff in the Aon Rankin Cup, and I say an engaging encounter already. 5 minutes for half-time here. 1-all's the score. Andrew, what are you looking in the second half?
Well, I think we're going to see Hamilton boys continue to push high, put real pressure, put aggressive presses on the on Kings. Kings coming through and playing a little bit more structured. It's anyone's game still. It's just hard to go either way.
Yeah, they're going to have to hold their nerves. So we're heading towards half-time, and we'll have a few messages for you. My name's Nigel Gregory, with me Andrew Bryden here at Tauranga Hockey Centre as we watch the Aon Rankin Cup, third-fourth playoff. Hamilton Boys High and Kings College from Auckland, and the scores are 1-1 at half-time.
My dream would be to represent New Zealand at Olympic Games, and my ultimate goal would be to win a medal. I always knew I wanted to go to uni, and I think the best advice that I've ever been given was to have something to fall back on. I was offered the Sir Edmund Hillary Scholarship, which was a massive draw to Waikato University for me, and after going I realised that the lectures were really great. I'm currently coming back from injury, and I've been using the facilities out at the Velodrome in Cambridge, and the staff and high performance equipment have been a key to my recovery. Waikato University has given me options and flexibility for life after hockey. I could put my law degree to use, or if I have $1 million idea, start my own business.
live stream coverage of the Aon Rankin Cup is proudly presented by the University of Waikato and Vantage Windows and Doors.
Welcome back to Tauranga Hockey Centre. You're watching the third and fourth playoff match in the Aon Rankin Cup, and we'd certainly like to thank Aon for their support of New Zealand hockey. University of Waikato also involved in here, and Vantage, of course, proud sponsors of New Zealand hockey. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us on stream this afternoon. I'm Nigel Gregory from Tauranga, and joining me in the booth today, Andrew Bryden from Christchurch, and we've seen a close game so far, but if you were having a word with either of the teams, what would you change, if anything?
Well, I certainly wouldn't be changing the way Hamilton boys is. They're starting to find some space, and they are putting the ball long, and they're actually finding their players. So that got them the first goal. Kings, I mean, they're actually playing fine. You know, they're holding. They've got a different style. They're coming through a lot more structured and using their middle a lot. We've got a 1-1 game. We did start seeing the pressure starting to mount up, and the odd little mistakes starting to come through on both sides. This next 10 minutes is going to be really interesting, and it may decide the game. But
be interested to see if someone decides to click up the tempo a bit and just say, right, let's see if we can get a lead and keep it and go from there. Be interesting to see how they go in that first 5 or 10 minutes. Again, the risk factor with that is you can open some gaps. So the idea of pressing a bit too high, or you're just playing at pace and creating errors. Going to be interesting to see what they go. Now, well, Kings, are they looking to drop the ball down the bottom corner, as we saw Hamilton boys do at the start of this game here at Tauranga Hockey Centre?
Absolutely. And I think you've made a mention, if we do start seeing the ball being a bit more aggressive, the counter-attack from Hamilton boys, I think, is a little bit stronger at the moment. So that's going to be the risk for Kings. So just about to start, waiting for the officials. Oh, we need some equipment out.
The bag you saw carried down the back there will carry the face masks and gloves that the players will wear on the penalty corners.
Yeah, and it's actually...
You don't want to forget those in the second half of your game.
No. Oh, you'd be surprised how often they are. And it is important. They are an important safety aspect for the penalty corner, especially with the drag flicks these days. Yeah. I've seen some pretty horrific injuries when guys have chosen not to wear them.
Yeah, you only make that mistake once. That's for sure.
Well, no, I've got a son that's made it more than once, and he's been taken to hospital more than once. So no, sometimes the brain disconnects.
Yep.
He might have been seen red that day with an umpire. So early pressure coming on here from Kings. So they're quite prepared just to hold the ball if it's not quite on and make sure they recycle it. Nice that pass down the right-hand side to number 3. But again, Hamilton at the moment look equal, but he's making great space down the base.
They've had some reward out of that bottom right-hand corner too.
They have.
A couple of penalty corners that they've gained out of there. Nice carry, and just strong on the baseline.
Well, that's really, at the end of the day, it was a strong baseline run and quiet run down the base that got their goal. So again, he's found space on the out. He'll be looking for a penalty corner here. Couldn't quite find his strikers on the spot. Tempo certainly already.
Sam Grenfell from Kings carrying the ball to the baseline, loses possession.
But just look how quick he got to the ball and wanted to restart the game. So the tempo is certainly going to improve.
Yeah, speaking of safety, I can remember from when I first moved to Canterbury and I started playing hockey, went to my first practice with the Harewood Club, and I had to borrow goalkeeping gear. And back in those days, they only had the old Jason ice hockey masks. And I hated them, and I borrowed it from the Harewood keeper at the time, Ron. And I said, no, I don't like those things. I'm not wearing it. So we did to this practice drill, and I had no mask on whatsoever. And Chris Leslie managed to deflect the ball straight into my nose. And I was...
Oh, look at
that is a beautiful goal. That is fantastic. Charles Cleal, number 3 for King's College. A ball driven into the circle.
That was absolutely stunning.
That is a great finish.
And what you'll see on the replay is a pinpoint pass right onto the spot.
Yeah. And we talked about someone scoring early and putting the heat on. Well, we're only just a couple of minutes into this second half here at Tauranga Hockey Centre, and King's College, again, had started the game under a bit of pressure. Now, from being a goal down, have got themselves a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, and that was good hockey, really
Yep.
good hockey. So Mr. Leslie nailed you as well.
So I got 2 black eyes for my introduction to hockey in Canterbury, and just decided from then on I may perhaps start wearing some protective gear for my own good. I'd come from here in Tauranga, and I don't think anyone here knew how to deflect a ball, so I'd never seen one before. And well, to be fair, I didn't see that one either.
Oh, no.
And,
But he's a bit of a class player in his day, Chris Leslie.
Absolutely. Of course, still involved in New Zealand hockey with the New Zealand women's side, coaching there. And having a look at today, Andrew, it's an interesting thing to say. You and I have probably not seen each other for 30 years. So you see we're both involved in the game here. Daryl Thatcher, who's the team manager of Christ College, taught here at Tauranga Boys, and I coached him here for his club side here quite some time ago. So the hockey circles are small circles.
He taught me. I can remember him taking me for a coaching weekend for goalkeeping way back in the day. It was a development weekend. This was mid-80s.
Ah, so, really?
He's. I think he's only just retired.
Yep.
And he was a steward of Christ College, and very much a respected man within that school and the hockey fraternity.
Yeah,
a lovely man.
And we'll also see on the team sheets today from King's College, from St Kennigan's, Ramesh Patel is their coach, QSM, and I see he got his QSM in 1988 for service to the community, and now 30 years later he's still giving service to the community. So. A remarkable man.
We'll have some funny stories about him later. I was at a function with him a week ago, so
fantastic.
We'll tell some stories. He and Barry Meister. So it was absolutely hilarious.
I'll look forward to hearing those.
Yeah, classic Canterbury, Auckland.
Ah, yes. Now there are some stories to be told there.
So Kings just again probing that base.
Yeah, there we go. And
he recycled the ball.
So they're in the circle again in that baseline and looking for penalty corners. Have they? Yep. Yes, they have. They've got another one.
That was good patience. I'm not quite sure who that player is, but if it's the same one.
That's Sam Grenfell. Was it number 11 Sam Grenfell? Was him again? Because he's been down on that baseline.
Just having a wee look. Yep.
Yeah, why do they never turn around when you need them to? So.
Yes, yeah, you're correct. Number 11. Yep. And that was good patience. And he earned, nothing silly, and he got his next opportunity.
And we talked about increasing the tempo of the game, but then that's a classic example where you slow it down for a moment. So rather than trying to rush what's going on, just stay in there, be deliberate, be strong, and gain your reward of a penalty corner and the opportunity to score again. Kings up 2-1 at the moment here at Tauranga Hockey Centre.
Again, straight flick, lay off. Nice clearance from the keeper.
Yeah, played powerful and strong on there.
So Hamilton Boy, that first runner has charged down 3 drag flicks in this match already. So he's obviously equal to King's College. So you'll have to. I would imagine Kings are going to have to change up and try some more layoffs. So while we're obviously have the finals of our Premier secondary school events this week, we also are starting tomorrow the start of the National Hockey League.
Yep.
They are starting to play their weekend games. So I know Canterbury's playing Southern and Dunners tomorrow. I'm not sure who Auckland's playing, but most teams will be playing tomorrow somewhere in the country. Yep. So that'll accumulate with the actual week-long tournament in Wellington starting next weekend, I think it is.
And again, you look at these players now. If you've got a hold of the team list that we've got here today, and you laminated that and kept it for 5 or 6 years, you're going to see some of these players' names popping up in and around there. So we talked about the importance of these games and for players to put on a good performance in here.
What is part of the tournament? Here's a strong shot coming in, and it's a goal.
Score.
Number 10.
That is Jacob Suchun, who scored the equaliser for Hamilton boys.
So what we saw was a pass that one of the Hamilton boys in the midfield pulled out of to allow the ball to go to the top of the circle. Wee bit of a German, I think it was, and Chun was able to pop it in the net.
Yeah, that's a good finish, and timely now. We're 7.5 minutes into the second half here. 2-2. The game, starting to quicken up, starting to open up.
So Hamilton boys certainly haven't given up here. This will be interesting. Yep, thought it was 5. And that'll be a penalty corner.
Yep.
Player never retreated, so the penalty hit was inside the 5. The player really needed to get inside the circle before he came back out to address the tackle. So
he's having a wee chat with the umpire the whole way back too, wasn't he? I'm still waiting for the day when an umpire looks at him and goes, actually, you're dead right. I did get that completely wrong. Yes, you know a lot more about hockey than I do. I'll change my mind. Thank you for guiding me.
We are always right. No, it was a correct call, but...
absolutely.
And
players will always argue about their 5 metres was absolutely perfect on, and of course they're creeping that 4.5 and 4 and 3.5.
Oh, dear me. So trap wasn't well executed. Tommy.
The shot was.
Well, certainly was, and the keeper was equal to it. So again, a bit sloppy pass. Could have been a good counter-attack opportunity, gone missing. And 16. So yeah, you're quite right though. There will be a number of these players that will be fronting up, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's 1 or 2 that are actually playing in HL next week. We may find. I know in the Christ College camp, the boy Liddy has been trialling with the Cavs in Canterbury. Yep. He's not in the side, but he was equal to it in some training games I watched. So there's some good players through these sides. And, if I look at Hamilton boys from the past, here we have Hamilton on the counter. They had a good turnover. They've got numbers. They've got a guy free on the base. Just a wee foot coming in.
On the outside.
But, yeah, if you look at Hamilton boys 4 or 5 years ago, you had boys like current backsticks like Meadow Wells, the boy Woods, Tim Wood's son. They all played in these tournaments. And they sit in the black sticks. And obviously the Midlands NHL sides at a very young age.
Yep.
Pace is certainly picking up here. Big long pass here. Thought that might be the case. Player just coming through the back of the Hamilton boys. This will be a quick restart. Trying to find the deflection in the circle. Cut out by Kings. Yeah, just noticing here, Kings aren't stretching the game anywhere near as quickly or as far as Hamilton boys are.
Comfortable with that carry of the ball, rather.
Correct. And no one was really trying to get through. Oh, another pinpoint pass. Can he get the shot away? Good defence here. Oh, it's a goal!
That is a stunner. That's Charles Cleal, number 3 for Kings. And again, a beautiful ball in, and didn't quite get hold of it with the space he wanted due to some good defence, but he's just managed to, again, that patience, maintain control, and got a beautiful shot in there.
Yeah, if you watch this replay now, it just cut a wee bit short, but the reality is he was just patient on the ball.
Yeah.
I thought the defender was actually doing a very good job, not trying to infringe, but putting pressure on him. So, great work.
What's the response going to be here? It was pretty quick last time.
Now, if this is right, I think we have a long corner, so Hamilton boys are immediately on attack again.
So Charles Cleal gets on the scoreboard, and what a great finish that was for him. We talked a bit about hockey intelligence earlier on, Andrew, and how that will affect the game and how players approach the game. And there's a great example there from Charles Cleal. Now he's gone on a big lead here.
Yes.
Just looks like, okay, let's stretch the defence a bit. But in that circle, just kept his head. And
here's another opportunity. That ball's going to come across the front. We're on the spot. What's happening in there?
Keeper saved twice.
And I think we're going to have a penalty. Oh, there's pressure. Here's a Tommy coming. Another great save for the keeper.
Oh,
over the back.
There we go. That's gone 4 backward of a square.
Now that's hockey.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
So we probably saw 3 awesome saves from the keeper,
Yep.
some very good shots, and the crowd loved the ball into the into the pond over the back.
Yeah, fantastic. We've got the Saltworks, Dominion Saltworks behind us here at Tauranga Hockey Centre, and that ball will be staying in there. It'll be on someone's dinner table in about a month's time. I think if they ever drain those things, there's a whole lot of hockey balls that live in there.
Yeah, I could imagine. You don't actually realise that's a pond sitting back here until you have some height.
Yeah, you get the splash, yes. So we've got the Dominion Saltworks on one side, and on the far side behind us, again, where we're expanding the hockey centre here, is Bay Oval.
So we've got another counter. We've got Hamilton Boy. Oh, that's a huge call.
Did he call that out?
I think he's called that out.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah.
he's asking the question, isn't he?
No, and it was unfortunately the right question to ask because it was actually in. But never mind. We can't change that one.
Nope.
Got to love coaches. This game is certainly starting to stretch now.
Yeah, that one's out.
Kings have got their dander up. They think they're in, and putting some real pressure on Hamilton boys.
Just over 13 minutes to go here at Tauranga Hockey Centre. 3-2 in an enthralling encounter as we build up towards the final of the Aon Rankin Cup here. Also, it's playing at a similar time on the field behind us, which will be the India Shield final.
So I think the 3rd and 4th's been played at the moment,
Yep,
is it?
that's on, yep. Breeze just starting to pick up a bit here.
Yeah, these boys probably won't notice it too much. Another long ball down the side, finding the high striker, number 11. He's back and he's finding his people. No, he didn't have enough support.
Oh, great lead.
Hamilton boys again hitting the right-hand side. And a save from the keeper from an acute angle.
Yep.
I dare say number 10's a bit disappointed. He probably wanted that back on the base. Oh, we got some naughty boys.
Oh,
He wants to have a wee chat. I'd say it's just a wee bit off the ball stuff. He's just settling it down. The pace of this is starting to pick up every minute.
yep. Down into that bottom corner again. Right hand side. We're looking for Charles Cleal in the circle. He'll be looking for another opportunity to get back on the score sheet.
Absolutely.
Number 3's right in front of the goal.
Kings really needs to support that ball carrier a wee bit. He had no options. He had nowhere to go. Well defended from Hamilton. And we go around the bag. So Kings have nicely brought it out of the pocket and are looking for the next empty space. And ball coming straight in. That'll be a long corner.
Yeah. So hard-working number 10, Jacob Suchun, who's a goal scorer a little while ago and was up in the circle on that attacking movement by Hamilton boys. They're now deep in defence inside the 22.
So easy turnover here. And so we're having a wee push in the back here. So umpire Greenfield not happy.
And that physical side we talked about earlier in the half, starting to creep in here.
Oh, no, some of these boys they're desperately wanting it, so ball into the net.
Absolutely, yep.
There's some pain in some of these kids' faces.
Yeah.
They're putting 110 out there at the moment.
The talk has noticeably increased.
Well, there's a lot of excitement. Just a few errors, and that could be just tiredness and just the enthusiasm in the game. But we're just seeing some just silly little mistakes. The traps haven't been held, and that is costing possession on both sides. Oh, yep. Number 10's doing a lot of work back in there.
It might have been a shortish 5. I think he was. he's measuring the 4.5 metres again. Number 14 for Hamilton boys.
Yeah, but you got to push it, you know.
Absolutely, it's the Richard McCaw approach.
Yes.
Oh, penalty stroke. Yeah, foot shot on goal and a foot right in front of the goal.
Yeah. And I think that's actually a very good decision. Probably not that easy to make from that angle, but I think if you look at the replay, you'll clearly see that that ball's going to be in the net.
Yep.
And to be fair, none of the players are arguing it. Again, that right-hand base. Yep. Kings exploited it well.
Aidan Fraser comes up to take the penalty stroke. Yeah, well taken. Sent the keeper the wrong way.
Yep. It's actually a very difficult place to try and save the ball on the left-hand foot.
Yeah, absolutely. Aidan Fraser gets the 4th goal for King's College.
Well, Hamilton boys have really got to step up now. They've only got just under 12, 13 minutes to go. And they need to peg back 2 just to get equal. 3-2 look doable. This is starting not looking doable. Nice work here from number 6. Just trying to find his next pass. He's looking for a ranging pass.
He's got a good ball on top.
Number 3, we've got to. Is he going to get his shot away? He might get a penalty corner.
Well read.
And good effort from Hamilton boys to come back quickly.
Again, that hockey intelligence didn't rush. He had sort of half a chance there, but no, this isn't going to work for me. So what will they try? Have they got a play, a penalty corner play that they've kept dry this week? And something new on the penalty corner.
Mm. I'm not sure if it's my imagination, but this Hamilton boys side looks quite young.
They do, absolutely.
So you might find this is a team that's going to be looking pretty strong next season when they turn up again. Ejection comes in, it's going to be a straight drag. No, it's off.
That is fantastic. That's now, Jacob Suchun again, I think, is the number 10 who dragged the ball out, has put that in the goal.
And again, you mentioned in the first half, you wondered if they might try and exploit. The keeper seemed to be going down quite quickly.
Yep.
And they certainly executed that.
Yep.
Oh, what have we got here? So I think what they've said.
So ruled that out.
It was in the net, but what they've said, that's been hit above the backboard, the 18 inches, because it wasn't a deflection, it was a sweep. So Kings here, across the front. So there may have been intervention or communication from the second umpire, and he's called it a sweeping. So it's not a deflect. So the rules do say first shot, first hit must be below backboards. That's the only thing I can put that down to. So a little bit of controversy here at Tauranga Stadium.
Jeez, yes.
And there were some coaches not very happy.
Yeah, that's when the volume increases. But Hamilton fighting back down.
Yep.
Yeah, and they burn themselves.
No. We've got a back of a stick, and I think the call was right.
All right, they were very close to being successful last time.
And to be fair, they've probably got to have another crack at it because so coaches coming up and the corners are being called from the bench. Coaches come out and just told the corner he wants, number 15. So let's see what they can do this time. Oh, the trap's been done. And we're 16.
Yeah. Okay. 9.5 minutes to go here at Tauranga Hockey Centre, and King's College at the moment in control on the scoreboard, at least at 4-2. But this is a Hamilton side that won't sit down and accept any fate. They'll be fighting all the way from what we've seen today.
So again, I think he was looking for a striker to come across, and there wasn't much movement from his mate.
No. 40 minutes ago, I might have had a go at that for you, pal, but not right now. Yep.
So again, Hamilton are trying to rely on this long ball,
Yep.
And that may be the thinking hockey that may be dropping off now. Yep. Could be still effective, but
That's okay.
you know, if they cut the midfield out the whole time, it's going to be pretty tough.
Yep.
So Kings with a restart midfield. So turnover to Hamilton. Here comes the long ball. That's a nice layoff pass. I would have liked to see, I think that was Yoon again, was it, number 10?
Yeah.
I would have liked to see him carry the ball into the circle, to be honest. I think he had enough space.
Yep. Now
So this is sent phonetic. We've got, big corner.
Yeah, there might be.
And there might be
the naughty chair coming into play, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. He's explained it. I think he'll leave. Oh,
No.
no.
5 minutes for the yellow?
I think it'll only be a 5 minute.
Yep.
So I'd say what he said, you've had a deliberate breakdown, tackle coming into the circle, and he's sanctioned it with a yellow card. But, you know, umpire made it quite calm. I thought we may have got away without a card on that one, just his action. So he was very cool and calm, explained it to the player, but it's still bye-bye, mate.
Yep. So just over 8 minutes to go, and Hamilton will be playing 5 minutes of that with 10 players.
Ball is wide. So Hamilton get out of jail. But it will be tough now with 10. Yeah, what will be interesting, if this score stays on like this with no change for the next 5 minutes, what's going to be interesting is how quickly or whether we'll see the keeper come off for Hamilton boys.
Yeah, that certainly seems to have come into play later on during the weekend. Yeah, but so in hockey you can say unlimited subs, and you can and often in games like this when you've got to chase goals, well, I'll put an extra.
Here's Hamilton with a shot. He's still recycled the ball. Yep, it was a good save from the keeper.
Yep.
Important save, but they've ruled the ball dangerous. Oh no, it's obviously touched the body, touched the defender's body as well as it's come through. Just then, the referee just indicating shoulder, so possibly a touch. Yeah, so no, it will be interesting if the keeper's dragged. So the whole reason for it is to try and push that extra attacker high.
Yeah.
So you're creating an overload. It's a really interesting pressure that mounts on the opposition when you put that extra player.
Yep.
Sure, if you make a counter attack, there's no keeper.
Yep.
But correspondingly, there's an extra player sitting up, and I've seen many teams actually successfully come back from being down. Okay. Well defended from King's College. They read the first layoff well, and then defended the second shot. Another PC.
Yep.
That's our main man Yoon again, I think, just carrying the ball in.
Yeah, he's had an influence on this game. Very busy player. And some good skills.
Yeah, very good skills.
Yep.
No. Oh, Sukun.
Yep.
So Jacob. But yeah, he's certainly he's had a big influence.
Yep. So again, the decisions perhaps for it would be interesting if they can get a reward out of this with nearly 6 minutes to go. Then how and when do they make that decision?
Well, it won't be until it won't be until their players back on the pitch. There's no advantage.
Yeah, that's.
So again, the traps has been let go, which is a shame because. So some rough tackling coming in here. Ball coming in. Oh, just outside the left post.
Absolutely.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. Number 3, Gus Nelson was in the right spot. Couldn't quite get to it. Again, he looks to be one of those younger players here.
Having a wee chuckle here. Suddenly we've got Hamilton boys racing to get the ball back for the restart. And of course, Kings will be wanting to slow it down.
Yeah, absolutely. And patience has been a virtue for them all game, I think. They've been methodical in their approach, and certainly their movement of the ball up the field.
Absolutely. And here we go again. Stringing together about 4 or 5 good passes. Oh, just missed.
Yeah.
Just missed. Now we've got a strong counter attack, but will he be able to get his pass away? No.
Four and a half minutes to go here, Tauranga Hockey Centre. 3rd and 4th playoff in the Aon Rankin Cup, and it's 4-2 to King's College from Auckland over Hamilton Boys High School.
And we're starting to see end-to-end hockey now.
Yep.
Wasted ball.
Yep. That's a low percentage.
So definitely seeing the slowing down from Kings here. They're going to try and milk every second they can before they...
As well they should.
Lovely round the back though here in a restart. Number 10 coming through. Nice tackle here from Hamilton boys. Oh! Now, I'd love to see him try and do that again.
Yes.
It ended up a great pass.
He'll tell us all he worked on that. Yeah. It was a planned move.
Nice wee recycling here from number 3. He ran into some heavy traffic. And we've got a good...
Jacob Suchun chasing it. He's been busy today. So on his reverse stick side here, though.
And he's still going. Yeah, he'll give the penalty.
Yeah.
It was actually quite...
So here we go. Here it is. Yep.
So we've got our player. We've got our suspended player back onto the pitch, and immediately the keeper is removed.
He's gone. Yep. Okay. So 3 minutes here, going by the clock. Now the clock that we're looking at, the electronic scoreboard here, may not be exact. Okay.
So time wouldn't have been stopped for this change. So the time clicks on. So Hamilton have to make a calculated risk. So I'm not sure. I'll stand corrected on that one.
So the Kings keeper's walking round to, the Hamilton Boys High School keeper's walking round. I'll head into the dugout.
Oh.
Yep. Ball turnover. So more possession for Kings as they head on attack, and again with no goalkeeper that you expect
and
a
I
shot.
think we're going to have to see. Great defence on the.
Did he rule a foot again in there?
I'm not quite sure. It might have been the tackle. We'll have a look.
So another penalty stroke. We saw the last one converted by Aidan Fraser, and will he step up again? No replay as yet. So just
I'm not quite sure what the penalty was for, but I thought there was ferocious defence going in there from Hamilton boys, and this will probably sink their chances in this match.
Now again with the keeper gone, so the player who's wearing the keeper's smock, he's got to protect himself with. He's got to have a helmet on, doesn't he?
No, they can actually. I think that we can actually bring the keeper back on.
Ah, I see.
So the keeper can be brought back on to
defend the penalty stroke.
To defend the penalty stroke.
Okay. Yeah, because otherwise you're just a sit and duck. I think if you pop in there with a pair of gloves and a helmet, and the guy's got a penalty stroke, you're not going to get too near it. Right. Let's see what the keeper can do there. This went into the keeper's bottom left last time.
Nice save.
There we go. Keeper came on and made the save to his right this time. Good hands and got across and saved that. So, 2 minutes, just over 2.5 minutes to go here at Tauranga Hockey Centre. 4-2 to King's College.
So our keeper's back off again.
Yep. They're going to have to get the ball I imagine if they managed to get the ball in the circle and score, I'd be interested to see just exactly how slowly Kings would walk back to halfway.
Very. So again, because they hadn't actually, this is the wee challenge with the keeper moving on and off, because he wasn't quite off, the bib guy wasn't quite on, they've had to bring the ball right back to restart.
Yep, and there's 30 seconds of your 2.5 minutes gone.
Yep, and it does get a bit messy.
Yep.
Although in saying that, a corner was a stroke, so time hasn't restarted.
Ah, there we go.
So pressure coming on now. Kings equal. Big pressure here from the little Hamilton boy player. He's recycled the ball.
Jacob Suchun on the ball again.
Yep. So Hamilton boys are just running out of time here.
Yep.
Overhead to clear.
Yep.
And of course that'll chill another 30 to 40 seconds before we'll have the restart. So Kings are pulling back just about everyone. Big long searching hit. Again being recycled by Hamilton. Trying to find their high players. Nice work here. Number 13 free in the circle, puts it back. Kings equal to the challenge.
Inside the last 2 minutes here. Kings College looks like they're heading for third place in the Aon Rankin Cup 2018. This Hamilton Boys High School side have not stopped going at them all day though.
No, but I think on balance, Kings have probably played a slightly better structured game, and as a result, they've got the reward.
And there's a name, we talked about writing names down. There's one you should have a look. Jacob Suchun there, number 10 for Hamilton Boys. He's been industrious all day. Scored a good goal.
Love to know what his age is, because he's a player that I think's going to be around a while.
Yep. And again, end-to-end running from him too. His work rate's
phenomenal,
fantastic. You know.
So he's just been up in the attacking circle edge, and now he's back in the defending 22. So it looks
inside the last minute.
So Kings College look like they're going to be taking the medal. Was Kings going to make it really upset the party and put a goal in?
Inside the last 10 seconds. There it is. 4-2, our final score at Tauranga Hockey Centre, Kings College of Auckland.
And to be fair, deserved winners.
Yep, I think as you mentioned, Andrew, look, methodical, strong on the ball, you know, a structured game, and just after some early pressure in that first half, just built up and just went about their work and look good, and some good goals in there too. And they look to be in control, played some intelligent hockey as well, and as you say, deserved winners. 4-2 here at Tauranga Hockey Centre, 2018 Aon Rankin Cup, and we've got the final coming up for you at 1:45 today.
Yeah, and I suppose the Hamilton boys will be ruling the decision that on the disallowed goal, and they'll be finding that difficult to understand. So that may have changed actually changed the game, but you know, you've got to play to it.
Yep, absolutely. But you say they're a young side, and the younger players certainly had an impact on the game. They came on too. They didn't look out of place at all, and that's a good sign of a strong squad and a good coaching setup when that happens.
Yeah, and I think you'd probably agree. You know, it looked like some of those young men up the front. They were young strikers. You know, they were looked like year 10s, year 11s. You know, so they might actually have those kids for another 2 or 3 years sitting in their squads.
Yeah, and that makes a big difference. And you know, experience comes into play. These tournaments, they're tough when you're playing 6 days in a row. Tough hockey. You've got to learn how to manage that, and that takes some doing. And certainly, all these players will be better for the experience that they've had this week. They'll come away. They'll work out. You know, where were the highs and lows? Where did we win and lose this? Let's go. So 4-2 was the final score. Kings College here taking third place in the Aon Rankin Cup 2018 at the Tauranga Hockey Centre.
live stream coverage of the Aon Rankin Cup is proudly presented by the University of Waikato and Vantage Windows and Doors.